The ideas that gave birth to our nation are the ideas that our nation is resistant to right now, and we should talk about that all the time.
In a world where narratives are shaped by corporations and gatekeepers, independent voices matter more than ever. Badlands Media brings together citizen journalists, researchers, and independent thinkers.
The truth is triggering.
Question the narrative. Explore the facts.
It's authenticity, courage, resilience.
Search for the truth others won't.
It's not about being first or being right.
The information war is changing.
It's about being authentic.
Embrace the friction.
Embrace the friction.
Shut the f*** up.
Authentically antagonizing. Join the movement.
I'm going to say how I feel.
Follow Badlands Media.
This is about the future.
The Badlands. What are the Badlands? Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Today we remember those who gave everything. And memory is never still.
This Memorial Day! One hero, one mission to deliver softness to America!
No, Chi-Chi, we can't stop for snacks, dude. We have to deliver all of these soft disclosure gift cards.
He goes by Zach Kane.
The motion detector!
Hey, stop fighting over the beer brush.
Life finds a way.
Hydrate your elbows! Moisturize your soul! Feel the rhythm together! Makes you feel alive and let the lotion roll! Soft disclosure, hear the cry! Maximum softness! Do or die!
Muffin, hit it.
Welcome, friends. Maha living here on Wednesday, May 27th, I think it should be. What's going on, Nate Dogg?
Yo, dude. Just stoked to get into this mushroom talk, learn a few things. This is good stuff.
I will be ranting quite a bit in this one. I'm a huge fan of medicinal mushrooms. I've been taking them for 15 years. I'm a huge fan of mushrooms in general. And there's different classifications of mushrooms. You have your culinary mushrooms used in cooking. Go get them at the grocery store. You have your psychedelic mushrooms you can use therapeutically for mental health. And, you know, we've done shows on that and talked about that quite a bit. But now we're going to dive into specifically medicinal mushrooms, non-psychoactive. They do not make you hallucinate and not typically used in culinary practices. You can buy a few of these. Like I've seen lion's mane mushroom at the grocery store before, but you don't really want to cook with lion's mane mushroom. I tried making an omelet with it once and it was gross. Plus the thing is that you need to heat. You need to do a specific either alcohol or very hot water extraction to be able to get the medicinal compounds, therapeutic compounds out of the medicinal mushrooms. So you can't just eat them and think you're going to get all the benefits. You need to do specific extractions.
No kidding. But that I did not know, dude. I thought that you could actually eat the mushroom itself and you would. Is it just that the compounds are not dense enough? Like if you eat one big lion's mane mushroom, there's just not enough in it. Like you have to get an extract. Is that kind of the?
No, you can eat the raw pure mushroom, but you have to heat it. So tea or alcohol extraction, it needs to be heated, the bioactive compounds in there, to be able to, for your body to utilize them. If you just eat the mushroom, all you're really getting is a good dose of fiber. So Yeah, you have to actually heat a lot of the compounds in it. But we'll talk about different forms, supplemental forms that you can take these mushrooms in at the end of the show. But to start here, let's just start diving into the common ones. These are the ones you will find mostly at your supplement stores or online or in mushroom products. Of course, you can buy them individually or in blends. But some of the most common ones, you've got your lion's mane, reishi, cordyceps, chaga, turkey tail, shiitake, and maitake. These are probably some of those popular ones. Some of them you've probably heard before, reishi, shiitake. But some of my favorite ones, I'm real partial to the cordyceps and the lion's mane.
Why specifically are you partial to those two?
Good question. And that's what we'll get into in this show. We're going to look at each of them individually and discuss what makes mushrooms in general, but each one specifically great. I like cordyceps for athletic performance, for oxygenation of the blood and helping the lungs, helping you breathe better. And then lion's mane for the brain and the nervous system.
Okay.
Lion's mane specifically can help stimulate neurogenesis, so helping not just the brain, but the whole body regrow nerve cells. Pretty cool.
Give me some of that. I need that.
Yeah, lion's mane's great stuff. Chaga, I like chaga as well. It's a pretty freaky looking. It's dark black, and when it grows on the side of birch trees, it almost looks like a cancer. But chaga is one of nature's highest sources of superoxide dismutase, SOD, super potent antioxidant. And turkey tail as well, amazing for the immune system. I would highly suggest at least just looking at turkey tail and any kind of cancer supporting anti-cancer protocol. Turkey tail is very powerful immune booster. So,
I would say maybe this is, if you could address this from a high level perspective, but like I've always heard stuff about mushrooms, but I guess I've just never learned, how potent they are. So I've never given them a lot of attention, other than psychedelics, because I know that's you right away you feel it.
Yeah.
But you think medicinal mushrooms have been underplayed, or maybe not suppressed is not the right word, but
just ignored.
Ignored.
They've just been ignored. They haven't been suppressed or censored because ancient Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine in India, they've utilized mushrooms for many thousands of years. So there is scientific studies that we'll look at here showing the benefit of them, proving the benefit of them. So they're not censored, they're just ignored. And in compared to herbs, a lot of fantastic herbs out there, powerful herbs. But the thing is, with plants, humans only share about 1% of our DNA with the plant kingdom. Okay. When it comes to fungi, we can share anywhere from 30% to 50% of our DNA with mushrooms. So my theory is that's why our bodies are so they're so bioavailable. We're able to absorb them. That's why they're so effective with our body, is because of all the DNA we share with them. That's my theory, at least.
You know what? That would explain a lot too, and that's why the government treats us the way that it does. Is it just feeds us shit and keeps us in the dark?
Yeah, and
we're
not going to get into it in this episode. We're going to speak specifically, health-wise, but there's a lot of even industrial applications with mushrooms. You can use mushroom extracts to break down chemicals in the environment. So any kind of waste facilities or any kind of area where there's high pollution, I forget what they call those areas specifically, but you can essentially spray the extracts of the mushroom into the environment, and it'll help break down some of the forever chemicals and all that. There's industrial applications. There's a lot of different applications for mushrooms that go well beyond just health purposes, but that's outside the scope of this conversation.
That's interesting, though.
Yeah. Now,
I know hemp kind of does the same thing.
Yeah. So with mushrooms, pretty much all of them support the immune system in some way, shape, or form. Some are better at that than others, like turkey tail, really good for it, but all of them support the immune system in some way. The thing is, individual mushrooms then have specific things it does by itself, which we'll get into. But first, let's start off just how they help the immune system. Medicinal mushrooms are rich in what are called beta-glucans and polysaccharides that activate key immune cells like natural killer cells, T cells, and they act as immunomodulators. So they balance and strengthen the immune response without overstimulating it. This is why mushrooms are so helpful with the immune system, because if somebody has an autoimmune problem where their immune system's too active, medicinal mushrooms can actually help bring that down and balance it. And if your immune system's underactive, it helps bring it up. So they can almost be considered adaptogens for the immune system. A lot of mushrooms are rich in antioxidants that protect immune cells from oxidative damage. They help reduce chronic inflammation. Mushrooms help support the gut immune axis. We know that that's where the majority of our immune system lives. And mushrooms are also high in triterpenes, as well as beta-glucans and polysaccharides.
Well, I can see why you recommended this for anybody who's looking into, cancer treatments or working with cancer. Anything that reduces inflammation and helps create homeostasis with your immune system, that's crazy powerful.
Crazy powerful, yeah. And we'll look at a quick clip of Paul Stamets, world-renowned mycologist. His mom had breast cancer, I believe it was, and he put her on a load of turkey tail, and it helped her immensely in recovering and treating and getting over her breast cancer. So, good stuff. A little more words in this one. I'll go through it quickly here, but medicinal mushrooms help the immune system primarily through their bioactive compounds, beta-glucans, polysaccharides, triterpenes, and fungal immunomodulatory proteins. These act as biological response modifiers that interact directly with immune cell receptors rather than just boosting immunity in a vague way. They fine-tune both innate, immediate, and adaptive long-term targeted immunity in a balancing, modulating manner. Beta-glucans are the star compound found in high amounts in turkey tail, shiitake, maitake, reishi, chaga, etc. Specific receptors they bind to: the main receptor for macrophages, dectin-1, and they activate specific pathways of immune response. Downstream effects, bunch of big words: production of reactive oxygen species and nitric oxide for direct killing. So basically, fancy speak for they're effective. Then you've got your polysaccharides and turkey tail, shiitake, maitake, triterpenes. So moral of the story here is that there's all kinds of compounds in medicinal mushrooms that help activate immune response, balance it, and help anti-inflammatory response as well. Let's see. The polysaccharides increase T cell proliferation and infiltration into tumors.
That's interesting.
Yes, you would think, in any anti-cancer protocol, medicinal mushrooms can at least support. Whether somebody goes the standard route and does chemo or radiation, or they do some kind of alternative non-standard treatments, medicinal mushrooms can be insanely helpful with whatever they do. And if somebody decides to go the mainstream route and do chemo, I would, not medical advice, of course, but I would personally, let's just put it this way. Let me try and be safe. If I, for some reason, was forced to do chemo, I would absolutely make sure I am taking a load of medicinal mushrooms with it so my immune system doesn't die while I'm being poisoned. Let's say that.
Yep. And I think that would be extremely helpful, for a lot of people who trust mainstream medicine and want to go that route, like a family member, if they were going through it. This is something that you could offer them that they a higher chance of them accepting this type of treatment.
100%.
Yeah.
yeah, if you're trying to convince like a friend or family member, hey, I know you're going to do the thing that your standard doctor convinced you to do, but at least take this while you're doing it to support you. And they'll be a lot more open to that than you saying, fuck the doctor, don't do the chemo, do all this stuff instead. That'll be too shocking, too much for some people, but at least you can convince them to do some natural things to support them while they're going through the standard care. But if I had some massive degenerative disease or cancer or something, I wouldn't only do medicinal mushrooms, but I would do it in conjunction with, say, a Gerson therapy, chlorine dioxide, vitamin B17, other things out there. So,
I gotta ask this when you, maybe you'll get into this later, is like, what's the best way to take these?
Yeah, we'll get into that at the end.
Okay, sorry.
There's liquids, there's powders, there's capsules. There's a lot of ways you can take them. It just kind of depends on what's easiest for you, what you remember.
Hey there, Earthlings. I'm here on the streets of New York to tell you about something that's literally out of this world. Traveling between dimensions really takes it out of you, but I've found the perfect solution. My Shroom Vibe can now be your Shroom Vibe. Elevate your frequency. Get microdose capsules, gummies, and chocolate bars at myshroomvibe.com. Use code BADLANDS for 10% off your order. Trust me, galaxy hopping demands balance, and ours comes from Mother Nature. Organic, not synthetic. It's the real deal. Psy Lee, if you know what I mean. Check it out. Your frequency will thank you. Visit myshroomvibe.com. Organic goodness, not synthetic. Use code BADLANDS.
Ready to upgrade your daily routine with truly clean, natural products? No exceptions. Start in the kitchen with Van Man's Pure Cooking Tallow. Perfect for high-heat cooking and adding rich, clean flavor to your meals. For your daily cleanse, try their gentle tallow soaps, the classic honey, pine tar, or coconut. These bars deliver a rich, natural lather that leaves your skin feeling clean, soft, and refreshed. Give your smile real care with Miracle Tooth Powder in flavors like Mint Bone, Cinnabone, or Original. Customers rave about whiter, stronger teeth and fresher breath with no harsh chemicals. Van Man also offers great products like hair care, eye cream, and more, all made with clean, natural ingredients, no exceptions. Right now, enjoy free U.S. shipping on orders over $40. Head to badlandsmedia.tv/VanMan today. But now let's get into some PubMed articles, and we'll go through some of these individual mushrooms specifically. So PubMed here, immune modulation from 5 major mushrooms, application to integrative oncology. So this is looking at deploying them in cancer medicine. But plenty of studies out there to show the immunological mechanisms and anti-cancer benefits of mushrooms here. Let's talk turkey tail since we're on the immune system topic. UCLA Health, turkey tail mushrooms act as a non-specific immunomodulator. The mycelium of turkey tail mushroom and its fermented substrate each show potent and complementary immune activating properties in vitro. Study from about 7 years ago. You can see Paul Stamets' name on this study. Speaking of Paul Stamets, here is a TED Talk that he did in 2011, 15 years ago. And I'm going to play about 2 minutes of this. So I believe at the end of this talk is where he discusses him helping treat his mom with turkey tail mushroom, his mom's breast cancer.
Or we can bring them to a locus and be able to control them. Most of you have heard that the mosquito population on the East Coast was 10 times greater this year than it was previously. So another mushroom empowers the immune system, and this is turkey tails. And turkey tail mushrooms have also been used for more than 1,000 years. NIH funded our group with a $2.1 million breast cancer clinical study, which has been recently completed. Now, this breast cancer clinical study was dealing with a non-ER, non-estrogen responsive breast cancer patients, ladies. And the study has come back with some remarkable results. And when the patients have radiation therapy or chemotherapy, their immune system is oftentimes impaired. So natural killer cells are decreased. Taking these mushrooms as an adjunct therapy, not as a substitution, but to support the immune system, The natural killer cells increase on a dose-dependent basis. The red bar is no treatment with 3 grams and 6 grams per day. And then post-radiation, the immune system is depressed, and then on a dose-dependent basis, the natural killer cells are enhanced over a period of 4 weeks. So this raises base immunity function, which I think is critically important. Now, this hit home to me very personally in June of 2009, when my 84-year-old mother called me up and said, Paul, I have something very serious to talk to you about, but you're always so busy. It's a terrible thing to hear from Mom. I said, Mom, what's wrong? And she's a very happy, genuine person. She goes, I'm worried. And my mother's deeply religious, has not seen a doctor since 1968. She said, my right breast is 5 times the size of my left. I have 6 swollen lymph glands the size of walnuts. And her voice started shaking, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I started crying. Why didn't you tell me sooner? We spent a large part of June at the Swedish Breast Cancer Clinic in Seattle. The oncologist examined her, and upon the second examination, she had a 5.5 centimeter diameter tumor. It metastasized, it went to her sternum, it went to her liver. She had stage 4 breast cancer. The doctor gave her less than 3 months to live and stated it was the second worst case of breast cancer she has seen as a doctor in 20 years of practice. We had the Circle family meeting. Many of you have gone through this. My mom announced that she bought a pine casket, the cheapest one that she could find, because she was going to heaven. But then the doctor said, you're too old to have radiation therapy. You can't have your breast removed. But there's an interesting study on turkey tail mushrooms at Bristol Medical School. You might want to try taking those. And that's, my mother goes, well, my son's supplying those. So she was put on Taxol and Herceptin, wonderful drugs. And then she started taking 8 turkey tail capsules a day, 4 in the morning and 4 in the evening. And that was in June of 2009. And today, my mother has no detectable tumors. And I'd like to bring my mother home.
Pretty cool. So at 4 capsules a day, I don't know if those were 500 milligram capsules or 1 gram capsules, but it sounds like she was taking anywhere from 4 to 8 grams of turkey tail a day.
I would imagine that was probably a highly concentrated extract of turkey.
Yeah, it's probably an extract. Yeah. But
that's incredible. I mean, to go from that severe to 0, taking a natural compound with, I would imagine, pretty much 0 side effects.
Yeah, I imagine she was probably doing some other stuff too, massive diet change and all that. And it sounds like she was taking a couple of pharmaceutical drugs with it, but the turkey tail definitely helped. So there is that. Now let's get into chaga. So as I mentioned earlier, chaga is super high in superoxide dismutase, and SOD helps, I believe it helps the body produce glutathione, and in turn assist with all that antioxidant effect, but protecting our DNA from damage, oxidative stress. Chaga also helps the immune system, but super good for our cells. And also, from my understanding, chaga, this is what chaga looks like. It grows on the side of, it grows on the side of birch trees. It almost looks like a cancerous tumor itself, but you see the real dark pigment. From my understanding, there are melanin precursors in chaga, and those melanin precursors, I'm trying to remember here, help our pineal gland. It sort of stimulates or activates our pineal gland in a very subtle way. So people asking me, well, how can I, sort of activate my pineal gland? And sometimes I mention ormus, or, you want to get all the fluoride, detox your body from heavy metals and everything. But this is one of the compounds that I sometimes suggest for people kind of trying to open their third eye and do more woo-woo stuff. Chaga. But here's a list as I scroll down of all of the bioactive compounds in chaga. there's tons. And, you know, you could consider a lot of these peptides per se. I think we mentioned this in our peptide show a couple weeks back, but tons of compounds in chaga, as well as all the mushrooms. So inhibitory activity against and inhibit cancer cell proliferation, reduce lipid accumulation, tons of stuff. So chaga mushroom, a super fungus with countless facets and untapped potential. Strong stuff. I'm a big fan of chaga. Now, lion's mane. Lion's mane is a medicinal edible mushroom that contains many compounds. Cognitive effects of lion's mane have been mixed based on small and short duration clinical trials. Preclinical studies suggest that lion's mane may be able to increase levels of a molecule called NGF, nerve growth factor. And lion's mane has two molecules that are small enough to cross the blood-brain barrier, and that's what helps to stimulate the nerve growth factor, the neurogenesis. So there has been plenty of studies. There's been evidence to show lion's mane helps with not just focus and concentration, but also mood and depression. And back in my supplement store days, I remember having a few folks come in where they had been in either car accidents or have traumatic brain injury from playing football. And they couldn't feel, like their nerves were inhibited in their arms and legs and their extremities, and they just couldn't feel. So after taking lion's mane for, I think, a few months, anywhere from 4 to 6 months, they could actually regrow feeling in their extremities again after their physical traumas. So it doesn't just help the nervous system in the brain, but also throughout the whole body.
That's really interesting, because if you go to traditional Western medicine and you talk to them about nerve damage or nerve injuries, they're going to tell you, based on the previous, at least this is what they were saying up until last year, is that any kind of nerve injury is the slowest to heal.
Yeah.
Like, you're basically, what the way they handle is your SOL. So that's very interesting.
Yep. Lion's mane, huge fan of it. Huge fan of it. It's probably one of my top shrooms is lion's mane. And my other top shroom is cordyceps. And cordyceps specifically helps the lungs be able to uptake more oxygen. So some of the compounds in cordyceps help to expand those little sacs in our lungs, so that way they can take in more oxygen with each breath you take. And then more oxygen in the body supports blood flow. I believe cordyceps support nitric oxide function. But anything you can think of where oxygen helps, cordyceps are great for. So cordyceps improves tolerance to high-intensity exercise after acute and chronic supplementation. Cordyceps alleviates COPD in a variety of different ways. So whether, especially long-distance athlete, but any kind of athlete, if you want better endurance in the gym, if you want, if you got asthma or COPD or some kind of debilitating lung issue you're trying to overcome, it's great for older gentlemen to get blood flow going to the sex parts. It's good for high altitude climbers, people living in, super high altitude environment, just kind of tired. Taking some cordyceps, supplementing with it can help there. There's a story of the 1993 World Athletics Championships and how the Chinese women's running team at the World Championships just blew away the competition. Broke world records, dominated all the long distance races at the World Championships in 93, and they all got accused of doping. And they got drug tested. Drug tests came back negative, and people were like, what the hell are these ladies doing? Well, Chinese running team was using cordyceps. That's all it was. So
wow.
Cordyceps supports improved oxygen uptake, faster recovery, stress reduction, and helps the immune system. Example studies. Studies show cordyceps can significantly increase VO2 max. So, big fan of those.
That is so wild.
Yeah, and you can almost feel yourself be able to breathe deeper, and it's just easier. Like you don't have to stress your diaphragm as much to be able to breathe. I take cordyceps all the time, but if I go like a month or two without it, and then I take cordyceps again, it's like literally easier to breathe.
Huh.
Pretty cool. Any kind of lung issue, vascular diseases, cordyceps is great for. So there's that. And then finally, just kind of threw some stuff in here on reishi, just because reishi is the most popular mushroom probably around the world. But reishi's one of those adaptogenic compounds. You know, adaptogens such as rhodiola, ginseng, ashwagandha. Reishi is another one that helps the body adapt to stress pretty effectively. So here we go, man.
Dude, this going through this has made me want to start consuming vast quantities of mushrooms. Like breakfast, what'd you have? Eggs and powdered mushrooms.
I take them. I take cordyceps like an hour ago because I knew I was going to be talking a lot today, and helps with speaking and breathe easier. So I'll be doing a lot of streaming and recording today. So I took my cordies, and there's a few different ways. There's three main ways. I mean, just get it in your body somehow. But I typically like to do the tincture just because. I just do it right under my tongue, and it's in a base, I think, of like 40% alcohol. So it just tastes like whiskey, but burns a little bit. I just do a couple droppers under my tongue, hold it there, and then swallow it down. But I usually do the tincture just for quick effect.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You can do capsules. The capsules usually come in 500 milligram size, and usual serving size is 1 gram a day. So 2 capsules. That's fine. Powdered extract, if you want. You can mix it into your coffee. There's really no taste. There's not a mushroomy taste to these medicinal mushroom extracts. So it's more of like it's almost like a macadamia nut kind of taste. So sometimes I'll throw the squirts of the droppers into the morning coffee or mix some powder in. I think I have some chaga powder downstairs and some lion's mane. So sometimes I throw the powder in my coffee. So yeah, anyway, just get it in your body. A lot of different ways. A lot of different products out there as well. So
heck
yeah, man. And back in the day, I used to sell medicinal mushroom extracts, but my manufacturer shut down.
Oh, dude.
I know. I'm in the process of bringing in, like, those are the powders I have downstairs. I'm testing out some manufacturer's products. So hopefully within the next, like, 2 month or two, I can get some mushrooms back in. But the good news is I got my mushroom coffee back in. So
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Michael Coffee is good to go at the Contra Strength website. Code Badlands for 10% off. But big fan of mushrooms. Wanted to bring them in. I would love to bring in mushroom tinctures, extract tinctures, but those are tough to find. But I'm looking at bringing in powders. Probably do the cordyceps, lion's mane, chaga powders. But I don't know if you could make pouches of mushrooms.
There's somebody out of China actually started a company called Flow Pouches, which basically rips off Flow Blend. But
oh my god,
yeah. Anyway, they're doing mushroom pouches, and it's, if you look at the dosages, you just can't put enough inside of a pouch to make it worthwhile.
Yeah, you can't, because you need, I mean, at minimum 500 milligrams of any mushroom extract to get any benefit from it. Ideally, like 1 gram at a time.
Yeah.
And I mean, what are you going to make the pouch this big?
Yeah.
Be like
Exactly.
Yeah. There's no. Yeah.
You have to do like a can a day of pouches to get any benefit. So.
I know, 5 pouches a day or something.
Yeah.
Be like chewing on a big wad of Little League bubble gum or whatever it was.
Levi Garrett, that was the chewing tobacco of choice.
Yeah.
When I was younger. Tastes like raisins.
Anyway, guys, there you go. Medicinal mushrooms. Great stuff. A lot of potential in pretty much all of them for immune system, and then different mushrooms then specialize or individualize in different things. So brain, lungs, antioxidants, pineal gland, what have you. So there you go. There's the brief.
Appreciate you breaking all that down. Thank you, Jordan. Appreciate it.
Big fan of shrooms, dog. All right, guys. We'll see you. That's all from MAHA Living here. We'll see you guys. MAHA News on Friday. June 25th to 28th, Badlands Media is heading back to Deadwood, South Dakota for the 12th stop of the Great American Restoration Tour. Whether you're attending in person or virtually, a Guard veteran or virgin, there's something for everyone. Early bird prices for virtual tickets are available through May 15th. Merch packages are now also available for both in-person or virtual ticket holders. Get your GART 12 tickets today at badlandsmedia.tv/events.
Thank you so much for joining us, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up on this video. And a special thank you to all of our advertising partners. Please remember to shift your dollars to support those businesses that support Badlands Media.